Pop it up. Is that you, Martin? You got it?
Not hardly on one of them, but just while we're on with questions or answers, just before we go over the map for that elf tool, earlier on somebody mentioned about holly, and I think it was Dane that jumped in and said, how do you keep it white? And I've just sent Dane a private message saying, have you got white holly? Do all the guys understand about keeping white woods? And it's probably something that the group might be interested in. When we cut timber, when we cut a tree and we stack timber, we cut the tree through and through and we stack our timber on top of each other. And that's how everybody dries timber. With holly or other whitewoods, we don't want to stack it like this. We need to dry it like that. And the reason being, the sap has got to drain away from holly to make it white. So if you've got holly, it's probably a greeny, browny, horrible kind of colour, or it might have a lot of staining in it. You're just drying it wrong. When the tree is cut, the minute the tree is cut, mark the bottom of the tree. Put a little V in the bottom, get it sliced, and then stand it up. If you stand it up, the sap will drain out of it, and you'll end up with a nice white piece of holly rather than a stained piece of holly. Just for anybody who doesn't know about whitewoods. It's that. Certainly in England, it is holly and sycamore are both stacked, not touching each other. We still put air sticks between the boards, but we stand them up. So we stand them up, we'll put an air stick, we'll stand the next one up, we'll put an air stick, we'll stand the next one up and put an air stick. So the whole thing, if you imagine stacked on top of each other as you would normally stack timber, but vertical. And vertical the way that the tree grows. And that's how you'll end up with white holly. So anybody who's got holly lying around, laid down, will probably end up with a brown, green, stainy kind of colour. If you do want to keep it white, or you can, most lacquers will slightly, but if you've got good holly to start with, you will keep it white, even with a lacquer on the top of it. If you start off with a true white, it will stay white, depending on what lacquers you use on top of it. But try and get it as white as possible in the first place. So if you get the opportunity for holly, get it cut, make sure you know which way it was growing, stack it up, and you'll get much better timber out of it. Matt Harbour will do that elk tool because I haven't got one to hand.
Thanks, Martin. I lucked out on that because that's how I got my holly stored.
Yeah.
Outstanding.
Lots of people, because ultimately everybody understands that when you cut a log, you stack it with the air sticks between it. Holly and sycamore, certainly in our part of the country, I think it's you talk a lot about this. Is it maple that's very white?
Yes.
Is it the maple? You see, I would imagine that you would get really quite a nice white colour if it was stood up. Over here, holly and sycamore. Sycamore is even worse than holly because you've got to brush each board. So as it goes through the mill, we take all the sawdust off it as well before we stand it up to try and get it as white as possible.